Complete TV Plus.
Sparking outrage, sparking reactions this morning is the statement of Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. He has accused the leadership of Labour Party of deceit, saying that Peter Obi lost in the February 25 presidential poll this year, and that's what is really causing serious issues in the country. You're welcome to Bystanders at News Stands, your number one online super review program. Good morning to you, good evening to you, good day to you, anywhere you are watching us from. It's Michael Adekunle. Quickly to what we have on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Employers reject NLC's plan to shut down economy. Employers reject NLC's plan to shut down economy. Why it is avoidable by Issa Aremu. TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, awaits government action on proposals. Moving on to another story on the front page of the same newspaper, The Nation. Tinubu Abiodun orders felicitates Alake at 80. Tinubu Abiodun orders felicitates Alake at 80. To the next one, NIMC moved to Interior Ministry to speed up passport issuance. We have NEMA's alert. Flood to pound 50 communities in 13 states. Of course, we have the situation of flood, rendering people homeless in Libya. Over 6,000 people, are reportedly to have died out of the disaster that happened there. So we don't pray for that to happen in Nigeria, and we hope the concerned authorities do the needful. On to the next one, the Vanguard newspaper. Forex scarcity sends Naira tumbling to 930 Naira to US dollar. BDCs laments dollar scarcity. Analysts disagree on involvement of BDC. Parallel market premium widens. Pressure may continue despite the reform, say experts. OAU students, MGT in showdown over school fee hike. OAU students, management in showdown over school fee hike. So the next one, IGP declares killer of DPO Bako in Rivers wanted. And down the story, we have ransom from kidnapping, fueling terrorism in Nigeria. Ransom from kidnapping, fueling terrorism, banditry, says National Counter-Terrorism Center. We have $600 million trap funds. Tinubu directs CBN to meet foreign airlines. And the last paper, which is the Punch newspaper. What is the Punch saying this morning? Very, very informative. ASU parents protest as more varsities hike fees. ASU parents protest as more varsities hike fees. Prevail on universities to reverse fee increase. PTA tells Tinubu fears mass dropouts. Lecturers slam federal government over poor funding. Students will take to cybercrime. Parents warn. We have down this paper, you can see the pictures of the disaster in Libya. Libya flood kills 6,000 victims buried in mass graves. Libya flood kills 6,000 victims buried in mass graves. It's a tragic one for the Libyans. We also sympathize with them, just as the president, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed, has also done. All right, we have Mike right here with me at the newsstand. Mike, good morning. And how are you doing? Kunle behind. How are you doing, Kunle? You're welcome on board. Good to see you this morning. All right, thank you so much. Mike.
Good morning.
Yeah, what do we say of the disaster that is currently happening in Libya? Flood. ravaging a city in Libya, and many have been rendered homeless. Many dead. We have dead bodies on the streets. No, Michael, I think we should be careful in Nigeria. Presently, NEMA has alerted us and has warned us that about 50 communities likely to be affected. You know, what do you have to say, sir?
My heart goes out to the affected people in Libya at the moment over the flood disaster. It's very, very unfortunate, very sad development coming from that country. Uh, we, as a people, we commiserate with the leadership of that country, the families of those that have been affected. Over 6,000 people have been declared dead at the moment. A very massive, colossal loss, I must say. Very, 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 very unfortunate, and it's very saddening at the moment. Very saddening. As to our preparedness as a country now, we need to be more serious about these things now. Now that we're already seeing the devastating effects in some other nation, as a country, we need to have all our preparation facilities in place by now. Government should be talking to the people about all safety measures now. Government should also have temporary shelters that they can provide for people to relocate to temporarily. I mean, while we have this particular rainy season in place. So, those, I mean, we can't just ignore the warning signs and some of the instructions that have been coming from NEMA should not be ignored. People in flood-prone areas should respond as much as possible, because it's about life first. When life is still there, I mean, great things can still be accomplished. But when that life is lost, I mean, that's just the end. So people should take all those precautionary warning signs and measures very seriously.
Very, very seriously. That's a good one from you, Michael. I don't know what will be running through the minds of the obedience at this point in time. Looking at the statements of the Nobel, you know, Nobel laureate, talking about Wole Soyinka. I think it's something we really need to discuss this morning, Michael. If you see it as a topical issue, the way I'm seeing it right now, many are reacting to it. Wole Soyinka said Obi never won the February 25 presidential election in Nigeria. The party leadership also know that there's no place for Obi, or there was no place for Obi during that election. How do you feel about this statement coming from as such a respected man in the society?
Professor Wole Soyinka have very high regard for him as a citizen of this nation, a Nobel laureate, just as we have expressed, a very resounding voice when it comes to issues in Nigeria. An elder statesman, I must also add. I personally give a lot of respect for him. However, the statement he made recently, personally, I felt perhaps it is unnecessary. Don't forget, I'm not aware that Professor Wole Soyinka was the one that conducted the last election. He's not the INEC chairman. If you were to be probably referring to the last judgment, of which the people concerned have already approved the Supreme Court, if you were to be referring to that last judgment, maybe I would have said it's quoting from what the judges said concerning that election. But stating categorically how the election went, I don't think he have that information at his disposal. I don't think so. So I think it's an avoidable.
But it's a learned person. You should know that.
You are
Uh,
learned. You don't know everything.
and he's a Nigerian. He has rights
Of
to express
course,
himself.
he does. He does. You know, you have the right to express certain things, but you expressed it based on the available information that you have. And that was why I said I'm not aware he's the INEC chairman. Neither was he part of the judges that made those pronouncements, because it was before those judges that those evidences that led to their pronouncements were laid. And so if he's referring to, about if you were to be referring to the last judgment, no problem. I mean, but I'm not aware that he was quoting those judges as to what they said and all of that. So as we said, he has every right as a Nigerian to express his view, but he should do that based on the information that is at his disposal, so that it doesn't cause unnecessary opera. Don't also forget, I'm not aware that Professor Soyinka is a chairman of any of the political party, especially those that are contending at the moment. So, I mean, coming to say what the obedience we're clamoring for is baseless and all of that, I don't think it's necessary at this point in time.
He stated it categorically that Peter Obi didn't even come second, but third. So why the protest? And he said the leadership of the party also, mobilized youth to protest against the outcome of the election. Now,
Well, I don't know the information at his disposal. It's an elder statement. He's probably is privy to certain information that I don't. If he was to be speaking from that point, from that standpoint, I think I don't have any problem with that. But to say anything without having a proof for it, I don't want to think a professor will fall into that trap. I don't want to think so.
Yeah, you're an analyst on this platform. I want you to be sincere. Did Obi really win that election?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I am not the umpire. I mean, that's the point. I'm asking. That's the point I'm making concerning.
You analyze, yeah.
That's the point I'm making concerning the professor. I'm not the umpire. I don't have the.
Okay,
I don't have the result at my disposal.
And do you agree that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the February 25 poll?
I didn't get the question.
Do you agree that Tinubu won that election?
The process for me wasn't transparent enough for me to draw that conclusion, and that is the truth. And I'm trying to be corrected. The process
wasn't
that led to his emergence.
You're shying away from my question, Michael.
I am not, and I won't.
Okay.
The process that led to the emergence of the current president, for me, wasn't clear enough. See, let me clear you on this.
Okay.
I have zero problem with an actually becoming the president of the country. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Okay. What I have always clamored for is a process that is fair, a process that is transparent.
Okay.
And that has always been my position. And because I have a problem with the fact that the issues we had during the election were not transparent enough for me to draw that conclusion. And I think that was even what led to the parties involved being in court at the moment. If not, we will have cleared the issue from the ballot rather than getting to the courts now. And Asiwaju can win the presidential election any day, anytime. But I want to see a clear and transparent process. And that is my personal view on that.
Michael is a very smart man. Okay, moving on to another story. Ransom from kidnapping, fueling terrorism, and banditry in Nigeria. That's what National Counter-Terrorism Center is saying. Of course, we all know this. These have been happening, and we expect a solution to it. But it seems our talks on this are not really seen as something meaningful to the concerned authorities. Michael, is there anything you want to say concerning it?
Unfortunately, we're having a very dangerous cycle. People are kidnapped, ransoms are paid, terrorism is funded. You can see that satanic cycle. And the people that have been, that have been saddled with the responsibility must just be on top of their game. Personally, I won't ask people not to pay ransom. Mike may any of us not fall a victim of kidnapping. I've had people that have been very close to such. I've been very close to a victim.
Wow.
So I understand this a bit. It can be very, very traumatizing. So there is no way you can tell families of kidnapped victims not to pay ransom and have their loved one killed, because these are mindless, heartless individuals that care less about what happened to the lives of their victims. So the only solution to this is for security agencies to be able to track down this individual when such things occur, of which at the moment they are having very serious challenges in doing. So the ransom is still being paid, and more terrorism is being financed, because these guys have a lot of money at their disposal that they can throw around and finance some of these their evil vices. It is so unfortunate. I just hope and pray that our security agencies can do more than they are doing. They are trying. I must give it to them. These are very serious, very tasking assignment when you need to retrieve people from kidnappers' den. But they just have to do more. They just have to do more.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks, man.
All right, can you come closer?
I'm fine.
You are one. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Welcome on board.
Morning, what's happening?
Happiness is happening.
We can't the weather look happy.
The weather looks happy. Oh, you also look happy.
Glory be to God.
Glory be to God. Glory be to Jah.
To Jah. Jah Rastafari.
Wow, that's great.
So what's happening?
Oh yeah, we talked about Obi not winning the election. That's what we're talking about here.
See, let me be frank with ourselves. The election have come and gone. You know, Obi came, he surprised them. It's not easy to come and surprise them for the first time. But truthfully, he never won the election.
Obi never won the election.
Never won Shiban.
So you agree?
He entered them.
But you agree with
them.
But you agree with that? Which means you agree with Wole Soyinka on that.
See, the truth is bitter, but the truth must be said. You understand? Bitter, but the truth is the truth. The next time election will be, will finish all of them. But this president is one that has come and gone. Let's say he shook their bowl.
It made impact.
They never believe that kind of situation, but he never won. You understand that language? 85% is not 100%.
I think he changed the trend of two
He
major parties,
yes,
in Nigeria.
Right from day one, those people have been on top of the situation. But now it came like a storm. It stormed them. And they were running scatter. God just give them a little mercy. It's not tomorrow. They are never heard of that battle, because it was a battle of the Titans. Obi is a name that is reckoned the whole world is that name. You shake Jagaba, you shake Atiku. You shake the lion of the tribe of Judah. But now, tomorrow, Obi, according to what I'm saying, the next
is who?
The next after Jagaba
Is who?
Obi. So you have the capacity, the caliber.
You are a prophet.
I'm trying to analyze things. I'm telling you the reality.
That's the prophetic words from Oluwa.
He have now gained ground. The whole neighborhood in Nigeria, no house they don't know business. Only that one is a plantation. They are planted, and it must be growing. And it must be there.
Yeah, about 6,000 people dead.
Perishing. See what is happening?
Libya.
See, you have to think about heaven and earth. Heaven is a realm for the spirit, and what they did there must come to pass. And when they are happy there, here will be happy. When they are not happy, see all those countries you are saying. See, let me go back before Libya, Morocco. For the past 2 or 3 months, Morocco have been dealing with the black migrant there. You understand? Before that earthquake come, you see, imprisoning people unlawfully, illegally, brutalizing people, doing anyhow. The whole world is begging that president, leave those people alone. Many are in prison, many have been brutality kills around because they say they are trying to influence the white to topple his government. See, we are current. See what's happening now. The spirits, they are angry. Go to Libya now. They have two factions. That is two head of state. They are killing and manning themselves. Many foreigners have left. They massacre people like fowl.
They are talking about the flood.
Yes, sir. Now call it a disaster. It's a demonic house. Still Turkey. Started from Turkey. It's not last year. See that earthquake bar from Turkey, Morocco, Libya. What is happening? So we know they are human beings, but let us change our attitude of humanity. We are all black, white. Let us be good. Let us think goodness. Don't let us think evil.
Is there any lesson you want the Nigerian government to learn?
Listen, Nigerian government have to learn that Nigeria, majority of Nigeria, 85, let us say 90% of Nigeria are not happy with the present government.
This is raining season.
Things is hard, and rainy season is coming. Excuse is coming, so they should do the right thing before the disaster came. Because they just focus on their own. How many money one carry go heaven? From minister to governor, or governor to senator, everybody just a packaging. Okay, since one reform for Basa, so be a whole headquarter of Lagos State, one of the headquarters of Lagos State. So Accuses is not better than Ogba. I don't know human being. I don't know government don't do here. Say Raji, area command. Raji, if you know for, area part I don't come outside. For how long? Okay, what I was saying. Because until heavy rainfall, all the way back to river, it's bad now. The government have to think twice. You see now, for Wole, they appoint new people. What is their work? Anything happens, say sorry, condolence, sorry, we don't go up again, and they continue.
Let's just talk about the hike in school fees of students.
See, imagine now you are not hiking, just come with the hike. See, the whole Nigeria start. See, the students, the parents, everybody is suffering to manage their life because of the fuel subsidy removal. There's a problematic in Nigeria, reality one. $2 now, everything now high. Now you now high student money. You now add sort to injury. So you are bringing more problem to their shoulder. How will they carry it? It's brutal. Let's not be frank with ourselves. There's time for everything. There's management level. It's a management team of the government. They don't have. You are increasing. What about the one with the guy? You don't even reach them. Now you now deploy police, deploy this one to the university to carry guns, to go to chase their way. Is that a democratic elected government? It's a motherfucking situation that we have in our house here. See them say they don't have the worst school. The whole Nigeria is the problem. Don't see a choice from our state. We are not talking. See, let me tell you, the whole Nigeria don't carry go and just say. Don't say my state. It's a bad. Everywhere is bad. I'm telling you about the government. Who is crying? The whole Nigeria is crying. What are you saying? Wole, you are trying to talk about the Japanese house. The narrative of Nigeria.
Are you getting me now?
Why you not saying do? What they do? Now I don't Nigeria.
So why are you saying it?
That road is so bad. That's what I'm saying.
The whole Nigeria road is zero. The whole Nigeria federal road is zero. Nowhere to be compared. Okay, look what is happening now. See Apapa Ocean, the expressway. See whole road. See everywhere is massacre. And we have government budgeting trillions of dollars for road. Nothing happened. Imagine, this Nigeria system is bad. We have a new government now. The new government will think well and act well. Not every day you go to allocate billions for federal roads, something this. Ministry of Road, zero. Okay, how long? See, by the express road, how long they don't go finish am? How many years ago by the express road they don't finish am? They don't use it to transfer.
Calm down.
Transfer. How many government will go finish it by the express road? Now people are suffering there. You wake up in the morning, early morning, like 3-4 o'clock from the way before you reach Lagos. It's a zero. Government should change their thinking. They should change their evil mind.
All right, thank you so much. You are one. Very great contribution. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Nobody to slap anybody here, please. All right.
It's okay, it's okay, it's
All
okay.
right.
It's okay. Good morning. Good
All
morning,
right.
Mr.
How you
Michael.
doing? Good morning.
Good morning,
Yes.
all our fans.
How you doing?
We bless God. Today is good.
Today is good.
We are alive. We are
Yeah,
alive.
life. All right. Uh, I don't know if you listen or you watched
Professor, right?
Professor Wole Soyinka. I don't know. And you, when you look at the statements of Wole Soyinka, it's currently generating issues in the country. Many Nigerians are not really happy with the statement. We have some Nigerians that are in support of Wole Soyinka's statement. Whether we like it or not, it's a controversial statement. Yeah, that Obi did not win the February 25 polls. That's what's discussing issues. And he said the leadership of Labour Party also knew that Obi never won that election. Obi and the leadership of the party are just deceiving Nigerians. That's what Wole Soyinka said. Do you agree with him?
Once again, good morning. Good morning, our diaspora. Professor Okwadi, Dennis, Chop and Stop. Taiwo, good morning. Muki Great. Well, Mr. Michael, once again, I have to sympathize with the Abuja Diocese, the Catholic Bishop of Abuja Diocese, for the loss of one of the parties here. A lot of lives were lost by most of these kidnappers and assassins. They killed a lot of worshippers there in one of the dioceses there in Abuja Diocese. Even Kavanta Diocese, one of the seminarians was killed a few days ago. So I am sympathizing with both Kafanchan and our Catholic diocese, our brothers in Catholic diocese of Abuja. Once again, back to your question, Mr. Michael. Yes, Professor Wole Soyinka happens to be one of the most respected professors I respect in this country called Nigeria. But sometimes, the most important thing in life is watching the way you talk, watching the kind of utterances that comes out from your word. Knowing fully well that a lot of Nigerians are looking up to you as a hero, as a mentor, you know. So, but that's a kind of derogatory statement that you should not be expected, that should have come out from the mouth of these so-called people that would think that a lot of Nigerian youth are looking up to. He is a professor, a writer, and I respect him for that matter. But for him to have come out and said that Obi did not win the presidential election, to me, is a kind of causing a disaster to Nigerians. It's a kind of causing commotion to mostly our Nigerian youth. And when you look at the kind of statement he has said, that Obi did not win the election, we are not expected, he's not expected to say such thing because, you know, as a professor, as a man, and as an elderly statesman, as one of the figures in the society, I think he should have done better by respecting himself, not uttering a word out, but within himself, he knows what is within his mind. But for him to have come out and said that Obi did not win the election, to me, it doesn't work well. You know, sometimes, you know, as someone who a figure respects a lot, why not come in and come out and respect yourself with the kind of word that comes out from your mouth? A lot of Nigerian youth are looking up to Professor Wole Soyinka as a figure, as a mentor. But yes, well, I don't blame whatever that. This is we're in a democratic setting. Everybody is entitled to his own personal opinion. Everybody, this is you know, what I may call the fundamental human right, the freedom of speech and expression. He has every right to express his feelings. As one of the fundamental human rights we have in Nigeria, that's in this country, that has been vested in our Nigerian constitution. But the problem we are going to have is when you know that whatever statement you are about to make is going to cause a very big problem to most of the people that you think they are your followers. Because if you look at a lot of, about 75% of Nigerian youth are dreaming and praying and you know, looking up to Professor Wole Soyinka as one of their mentors. But for him to have come out and utter such word, well, I don't know as a professor he is, I don't know what about the matter warrant such words or such statement from him, because I am not in his own class. He might have seen it as a Nigerian. He might have seen it all.
As a Nigerian, who won the election?
Well, my brother, it is not on my disposal to have said this is the person that won the election.
Okay.
Uh,
And do you agree with the outcome of the election
well, my brother.
and the outcome of tribunals' judgments?
My brother, no, I don't think I would go with. This is, we're living in a country whereby even you and I know that even the tribunal themselves did not even trust themselves quite well. So, but what we should be expecting, what we should be telling ourselves now is that we have seen judgment and to some certain parties, to some certain political parties in Nigeria, to them, justice has not been given to them. That is why a lot of them are going to Supreme Court. So for you to have asked me if really and actually I believe on the outcome of the judgment, well, I have to tell you, number one, I am not there. I am not part of the judiciary. I am not there, and I'm not part of those people that went in there and judged the case. But the truth still remains that we, the Nigerians, as long as this is part of the fundamental human right that have been given to most of these people, that you have every right to appeal. Let them feel that maybe whatever appeal that have been given to them by the PTC, by Presidential Tribunal Court, maybe to them they are not satisfied with whatever judgment that have been given to them. So they have the constitution demand, they have every right to go down.
Why are you now objective? You are now balancing the situation.
My brother.
But before, I'm sorry, I don't want to go. Sorry, continue what you say. Continue.
No, you have to say whatever you want to say. You see,
before you were in support of a particular candidate.
I have never for one day comes out to this person and tell you that this is my candidate. I have never done that. I have never. What I have been challenging,
the outcome.
Whatever I have been challenging, whatever I have been saying here is that I am not confident with the Nigerian judiciary. That's what, if you can go back and play back whatever the
interview. You have a particular candidate you supported.
My brother, that should be personal. Are you getting me? It should be personal within me. It should be personal, but whatever.
And
if you
when
can,
the person lost out, you were kind of no.
My brother, you never.
No.
Can you remember even when they conducted the election, I wasn't here. Are you getting me? I wasn't here. For one to have said that maybe I granted an interview here, that I was here and I granted an interview.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that I will say it and I will repeat it again. I don't have much confidence on the Nigerian judiciary except.
Okay, no problem. All right. Quickly to, can you help me do this very well? Quickly to the insecurity issues we are facing. Of course, we all know that it is not today. We've been talking about government tackling insecurity and fighting it to the end. But I don't know what's really happening. It seems we are not really winning the war, against insecurity. Like we have it on the paper today. The ransom these bandits, the insurgents, collect from the victims or from the government are used to finance this evil act. What do you think the government can do to make sure there is no recurrence of all these kind of situation?
Once again, Mr. Michael, I have to also say kudos to ECOWAS and the Nigerian soldiers for not going to war with Niger as a country. Because we Nigerian here, we have seen a lot of bloodshed. We are even okay. A lot of bloodshed in West Africa and is on a high increase. That even going down to a place like Niger, firing them with guns and other things. So I commend the military people and the ECOWAS body for sticking not to go to war and fostering a piece of what I may call personal dialogue with such country. Insecurity in Nigerian, insecurity is not only in Nigeria, it's almost in the West Africa and entirely in Africa, has been one of the most problems we are having in African country. You find out that a lot of places, you can no longer travel to some certain places and feel comfortable anymore. But these are things you hear, like 15 to 10 years ago, you only hear about that on the news that something like it happened in another man's country. But today, these are things we are witnessing within our doorsteps. But the problem still remains that, do you know that when you look at most of these governmental officers, most of these politicians, a lot of them knows what they are supposed to, what I may call some checks they were supposed to put in place in order to fight and harness this problem we are facing about insecurity. But what are we seeing? We are seeing a situation whereby a lot of them think that maybe they are benefiting from most of these bandits or kidnappers. Because a lot of them, if they don't have sponsors, if they are not being sponsored by most of these hierarchy men, hierarchy politicians and officers, I think, how many are they? How many are they? I think by now they should have been flushed out. So you find out that a lot of insecurity is ravaging the country. A lot of things is happening in Nigeria. You cannot longer. Okay, I just said before I started, I have to sympathize with the Abuja diocese. When I said that worshippers in one of the Catholic parishes there were ranted by most of the kidnappers and they were killed and a lot of them were kidnapped. So you see, and a lot of seminarians were also massacred. You get what I'm saying? So it is not conducive in our country anymore if the churches are not even safe anymore. What happened to a common man on the street? That is to tell you that Nigerians, the problem we are having in Nigeria is nothing but, you see, you look at the insecurity. Insecurity should have been the watchdog of every government that is coming in power in Africa. Because a lot of things is happening in Africa. Africans have turned, they have turned their own country into a war zone that you can no longer transfer yourself from one particular state to another and feel comfortable and feel relaxed simply because you are in that particular state. But once you are there, you are only sleeping with one eye closed and one eye open. Are you getting me? And it's not supposed to be like that. This is our father's land. We are not supposed to be tenants. We are supposed to be landlord and landladies in our father's land. But what are we seeing? Insecurity have taken the orders of the day. Nigerians are no more happy. So I appealing with the federal government that they should know that insecurity in Nigeria has been a very big problem. So fighting insecurity would do us good, because if you cannot, the president, a few days ago, he traveled to India to bring down investors to Nigeria. But believe me, if insecurity should continue like this, instability, most of this insecurity of a thing should continue, believe me, most of these people cannot come in and invest their money here. Because you cannot invest your billions of your hard-earned money in a place whereby insecurity is on a high increase. So I think if the federal government should know what to put on, I have to commend the efforts of the military personnel and most of the security personnel in Nigeria. They are quite trying, because most of the alarming situation in Nigeria, when you look at it, is not more on a high increase like that. Are you getting me? But they should do more, because you are going from one country to another, bringing in investors to come and invest in your country. But what happened to insecurity? A lot of companies have decided to move down their company from here to another to their different country because of the insecurity we are having in Nigeria. So if we cannot fight insecurity in Nigeria, I don't think most of these investors they are planning to bring in will be able to come in here and feel comfortable with their resources here. At the end of the day, you find out that most of them will have to move down their resources back to wherever they are coming from. Thank you, sir.
Charles. All right.
Charles,
Good morning. How you doing?
very well, Mr. Michael.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Quickly to the topical issue. Talking about Soyinka statement. It has generated issues in the country. We have our positions talking, Nigerians talking, and I want you to give your own take on it.
You see, the Aztec scholar, the #1 Nobel laureate in Africa. This is a man that we are so proud of, and he's a jewel that can never be compromised for any reason. It's unfortunate that Baba is dabbling into politics, because in politics, it's a game of muddy waters, and you get your silver lining sometimes, you get it sting. Yes, I know. He said Labour Party, they know that they lost, and they are trying to use what we call gradual. Understand, Peter Obi has to keep the fire burning because he wants to keep the tempo high. So he's trying to remain relevant. Okay, the Supreme Court judgment will extend to next year, and next year is 2014. That's just 2 years short of the next campaign period. So I believe Peter Obi knows what he's doing. No doubt, everybody understands he lost. You'll be delusional.
So you said everybody understands.
Everybody, even the Labour Party supporters know he lost. They don't contest what he got in the corner. There's no way you can win Nigerian presidency without winning the corner. There's no way. There's no two ways about it.
Generalizing it.
There's no way.
Everybody knows.
There's no way.
He lost.
He lost because he didn't get.
There are over 200 million people in Nigeria.
My brother, in that election that
are you telling us that over 200 million people knows that?
They know, but they just decided not to believe.
Know that
they know.
They lost.
My brother, they know. They just don't want to believe.
And over 200 million people know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the election.
Everybody knew what happened in that election, but hate, delusion, okay, grandstanding are the issues, bedeviling some of those obedience. Let me tell you, the question is, first of all, your party didn't have 44,000 polling units. How do you intend to defend yourself in such election? Number two, you went to court. Where are the from EC8A you presented? I'm not talking about what you downloaded on IREF, because IREF is not a collection. It's not a collation unit. IREF is not a collation unit. Okay, wasn't stated that this is what the Supreme Court or the tribunal will use to adjudicate your case. In every unit, every party agent had an access to that for EC8A. Okay, they did not present that. In the core north, Obi is not contesting maybe there was any malpractice there. Maybe in Kano, maybe in Jigawa, maybe in Sokoto, maybe in Borno. He is not contesting that. Okay? He said in Lagos, where he won, that is malpractice. My brother, Obi knows. But for political reasons, because he understands that for him to be relevant, he needs to remain a trending topic. Okay? But I don't like the fact that Wole Soyinka is dabbling into that, because Baba is only giving him more relevance. If Baba is giving him more relevance, because for what he said, he has only ignited more, more aggression, more kind of hate speech towards himself, and then people will hereby start defending Peter Obi again, and then his name again will start, becoming more popular. Baba should start giving him cheap popularity. Baba should just leave it.
Cheap popularity.
It's a cheap popularity.
As well.
Yes. Baba has mentioned his name.
The person that shook
we know how much clout. My brother, we know how much clout Wole Soyinka commands. We know how much clout Wole Soyinka commands.
Now, for you to have said cheap popularity, Obi,
because he doesn't deserve it. He lost. So Baba should stop talking about it. I know Baba is pain because Baba has never seen some people become so delusional. Baba has never seen people outrightly practicing fascism. Something that does not belong to you. You just want to claim it by a crook. Come on, man. You say you won. Bring the evidence.
Was about tribal by making that.
Baba, how is about tribal? Baba has always. Baba
he made a statement because he's a Yoruba man.
If you ask, the person that will say that will be probably an Igbo man or an Hausa man that is defending an article. Okay? Bias is inherent in everybody. There's nobody who isn't inherent. But the point is, don't be hypocritical with it. When you ask a person like Udeze Chima, why are you supporting Peter Obi? He will tell you because what did he do?
Who is Udeze Chima?
He's one of our famous, I think I don't know his whereabouts.
Okay, viewer, right?
One of our viewers. Or Kafo, or Stop and Chop, or Dimian, or Uchejini, all those boys. They're all, they share the same regionality.
They are watching you right now.
They share the same regionality. But if you ask them why you supporting Peter Obi, they'll tell you, yes, he did this. He didn't turn Anambra to Ogun State. That's the lowest part I can give. It didn't make Anambra so viable. Anambra is not a jewel, even in the east. Okay? Ebonyi today is the what? It's a beautiful bride in the east. Whether you like it or not. When you go to Ebonyi, everywhere is beautiful. Okay? The dirtiest place in the east right now is Abia, seconded by Anambra. So please, but that aside, let us stop this issue of Obi. I don't want to give Obi
All right.
cheap popularity.
All right. Are we winning the war against insurgency in Nigeria? Are we winning the war against terrorism?
We will only win the war. We will only win the war against terrorism when I start seeing our military embrace technology wholeheartedly. I'm so disappointed in Nuhu Rubadu. Nuhu Rubadu, to me, has become so inept. I know so many people that celebrated him. I, as a person, I even celebrated him. But I'm disappointed. Nuhu Rubadu, as of today, should be the one charging the state government, install cameras, install motion sensors, and tell our military people, you guys, we need to collaborate whether with the Israelis or we need more satellite imageries so that we can monitor motions and all that. We need to clear our bushes, our forests, like 200 meters away. There are some areas in Nigeria today that should be declared military zones, especially all states across the borderlines. People shouldn't be living there.
Is this how we continue to fight insurgency?
Until those...
Because don't forget,
my brother,
Jonathan's era, the same thing, Buhari's time, the same thing.
Until those
again.
solutions, those things I just said now, the borderlines, it should be what? It should be declared as a hot zone. A normal civilian shouldn't be seen there. They should set up a quarantine. They should give them a deadline. Everybody living another borderline should move inwards, and then the federal government should also build some houses for them. So when they give them a deadline, maybe 3 months, move what you are doing. If you are living along the borderline, Nigeria and Niger, because that's where this atrocity happens most of the time. Go inside Borno, go inside Sokoto, and the federal government should build low-cost housing for them. Anybody caught after that time period, whether you are innocent or not, should be killed. Because it is assumed you are an informant to the terrorists. Okay? It is assumed that you are what? You are also a terrorist. No, it has gotten to that level. It has gotten to that level that those border areas should be declared a hot zone. It should be declared a military zone. People should not be found around that area.
All right, thank you so much.